Folks, today on the Stony Ridge Farm channel, we got a job, big job. We're gonna be trenching way around there, and I'm down in this ditch working, and we're racing the rain. Let's have some fun. Woo! Ooh, ooh, daddy. Ooh, it smells bad in here. Oh. Contact Kubota. Oh, down in liver there. There we go. Good after morning, guys. Welcome to another sunny, beautiful day here on the Stony Ridge Farm. I just got done feeding the cows, and today's project is something I've been needing to do for about a year and a half, and I've been putting it off. I finally got the cows over on this side of the farm where they're not using the water system, and that's important for today's video. So in today's video, we're gonna connect all of my wells together. We have one well right here, one well up on the top of the hill, and one well down there by the trailer where I live up in our trailer. So here's what we gotta do. Back in the day, probably, I'm gonna say 2.5 years ago, I drilled this well right here and we put in a bison pump. I'm curious as to something's going on over here. Got a bunch of buzzards flying around. Squirrel, got sidetracked. Anyhow, a few years back, I installed this bison pump. First, let's just take you over here and show you that. So this well is around 460 feet deep. That well up there is about 460 feet deep, and this well down here is about that deep as well. Deep subject, right? This is called a bison pump. This is a hand pump that we use here on the farm. You can actually hook this up to your pressure tank, but this is an agricultural well. Underneath here is all the apparatus and stuff that runs the well. I had it wrapped basically in cinder blocks, and then we put stone around it and made this look really, really nice. That's a bison pump. Really, really cool. Happy with that so far. That way if the power goes down, grid goes down, we always have water. Now, that's important. We would be able to pump water to the cattle with that if our solar well setup went bad. We're gonna show you all 3 wells in this video. This is a fun video, so stick around. We got a lot to cover. Probably gonna be a long video, so grab your coffee or your cold adult beverage. This is a junction box down here, and I ran a pipe from the well underneath this concrete right here to this junction box for this very purpose. Now, if I remember correctly, I used a 1-inch pipe. What we're gonna do is connect up with another 1-inch pipe from that junction box. We've got the Mini X out here, and we're gonna trench all the way through here, all the way out, and all the way over there where the Mini X is. That's a long ways. I'm gonna say it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 yards. Let's pop this guy open real quick. We're just gonna get into this today. Oh, maybe if we can get this box open, we'll get into this. Oh, come on. Come on, get your finger in there, boy. Oh, there we go. All right. I haven't seen in this thing in 2 years, so let's see what we got. Oh, baby, look at that. Man, I done a good job down there. That looks awesome. So we've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Triple stacked. You're gonna see what this is all about here in just a minute, why these are triple stacked. But what we gotta do is connect up right here and run it out. Let me stick it down in here. We gotta run it out right through there. So I've got to trench up to here, get it under the fence right there, and head around that way. Let's take you over there. We got to shut down the other well real quick, because when we go to splice into the other well, we don't want any water pressure. So let's ride up to the solar well and I'll show you guys that. Contact, clear prop. It's a fun project today, guys. Shout out to my neighbor John for letting me use the Mini X. That is a Kubota KX040-4. I don't know what that means. I think it's a 40 horsepower machine. Thank you, John. Gosh, I couldn't do it without you, bud. Shut her down, Beaver. Here's what we got in a solar well, and this solar well is by Lawrence Solar. Check it out. This is what serves the cows. 8 solar panels right here. Underneath that big insulated rock is all my pump apparatus and everything. This thing runs on low voltage, and it is super cool. I haven't had any hiccups with it other than mice chewing my wires, which has been a pain in the butt. Easy enough. You can see right here, the well is on and the circuit is broken right here, meaning it's broken because the pressure switch is engaged. So there's a pressure switch in here. If I go and engage one of these water tanks, and this serves water tanks that are a half a mile away, way over there, at least a half a mile, maybe even close to a mile. There's a lot of pipe under the ground. All of this is 1¼ inch poly pipe. Simply enough to turn it off. Boop. That's it. Shut it down. Well is disengaged. Everything's off. I don't have to worry about it pumping, but I do have to worry about pressure and water, and there's a lot of water in these pipes. This is just about the highest point on the farm, and I'm going to take you to just about the lowest point on the farm as we pass the third well. Honda! My next well here, let's shut this four-wheeler off real quick. And what in the world? What you doing, bud? Okay, I'll put the brakes on. All right, so I showed you guys those 3 boxes just now. Well, here's the same setup. These are the same 3 boxes. These are the connection points, and this is all from PSI in Stokesdale, North Carolina, at 66 bucks worth of goodies. Very cool, very simple. And how these work, this is basically an irrigation box. This sits under the ground. If you want to go deeper, and I think that is a 12-incher. If you want to go a little deeper, and the frost line around here is about 18 inches, we want to get it below the frost line, we just stack them up. So we got 1, 2, 3. We'll triple stack them, and that'll be about that deep, which is about 20 inches or so, something like that. Don't correct my math. Now, it's going to get below freezing tonight, so it's important that I don't leave all this uncovered. But for now, we're going to go ahead and uncover it. This is what my house is served by, and it has mulch around it. If you want your insulated rock like this, and underneath here is a pressure tank and everything, if you want to keep it from freezing, pile a little bit of mulch around it. If it's going to get down below 0 degrees, I will take a scoop of mulch and bury this thing so that it's insulated, but we don't need to do that right now. We're just going to uncover it real quick. Oh, up we go. Come on, baby. Come on. Haven't had this cover off in a while. Since the last time my well pump went out. We got some roots around this thing. There we go. Yeah. Well, have to do a little bit of work. Oh, after the fact here. There we go. Whew. Hey. So here's my well. That's the well head. This is the pressure tank. And this is what we're going to be connecting up to. And you can see we've got about 45 PSI right here. And this is 3/4 inch poly pipe. We're going to be connecting up to this 3/4 inch poly pipe right about in here, okay? So the goal here from this well is to connect up right here. We're going to trench, ruin the driveway, go straight over here, and we're going to connect up to the pipe that comes from the solar well. So all of this is interconnecting everything together. The well from the shop connects up through the 200 yards or 300 yards. We got to trench all the way through to the 1¼ inch poly up here. And then we're going to connect this well right here where I know my trench is. And I know exactly where it was because I put it in. And I've got video record of where I put it in. Super easy, super simple, and super messy. The next thing I think I'm going to do as well is I'm going to go from here and I'm going to tee off with another 3/4 inch poly pipe, and I'm going to go all the way down to my garden, which is right down here. While I've got the Mini X, why not knock it out? Why not go ahead and get it done? The only thing I got to worry about is hitting my power service to the house, and I know I'm not going to be digging that deep. Okay, we've already called before we dug. Nothing needs to be marked. Everything is good to go. Now let's go down and drain the entire well system. And you guys are going to be surprised because I just shut the solar well off and it's got a lot of pressure on it. Check this out. Raise no dummy, all right? Maybe. So this is the lowest point on the farm where the water system comes through, okay? Here's what I did. I put a hydrant down here, and we're gonna turn that hydrant on. I'm curious as to how much water is in here, so we're actually gonna flip this tartar tank over. See if we got any snakes. Nope, no snakes. Might have a mouse nest though. What we got here, bud? Got any mice? God, buddy. Nope, no mice. I'm gonna throw this tartar tank on, and we're gonna turn this Woodford hydrant on. We got some pressure. This is gonna drain all the water from the whole system. It goes way over the hill that way, and all the way up past the solar well system right there. And this is relieving all the pressure, letting all the water out so that when I cut that pipe, it doesn't explode in my face. And I'm gonna show you a video of the pipe exploding in my face right now. Cross my fingers that I don't get soaking wet. A lot of air. Well, I'd say we got water pressure. I'm soaked, dude. Look at that. Boy, life on the farm can be fun. It can be a challenge at times, but boy, it can sure be fun. So I went last night about another mile away, and I drove the Mini X all the way back here to the farm from my neighbor John's house. We drove down the highway and then got on the road here, and I came down and I parked just about where I thought the water line was. I can look down this hill and still see where the water line is. I did not put a trace wire in. It's just too much trace wire to put in all the way across the farm. So what I gotta do here is figure out where the water line is, and I have about as much experience on this Mini X as I have on a Citation Jet, which is not much experience. So I honestly don't know which direction I should go from this direction or from that direction, but I believe I'm gonna start up next to the fence over here on this side and then work my way back. It's gonna be very difficult for me to dig the ditch from where that junction box is up there next to the outdoor kitchen to the fence. That is gonna be the worst part of all this, I think. So, I don't know, you'll see what I do. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. I don't wanna have to dig precisely my first few digs. In other words, I wanna get proficient at it before I start digging near where I think water lines might be. We'll see. I might just let her rip. Sometimes that's fun enough. Oh. Oh, baby. Contact. If this handle right here works the blade, well, once I put this down, so you put this guy down, and this works the blade. Push and pull that. There's a button on here to tilt the blade this way and that way. So that helps stabilize me. And the way the bucket works, this raises it up. Okay. This curls my bucket left, right, and then this rotates the machine left to right and brings that arm in and out. There's a thumb on this. There's an auxiliary button right here, and then you hit the thumb with your thumb. You can probably see that. And for today, I want to get that thumb out of the way. It doesn't even need to be in the way. I'm going to be looking straight into the sun here. I think the thing to do is just start digging, man. Just let her rip and see what happens, right? So I put that shovel in where I think the water line is. That's where I think it is. Doing a good job. I have got to get proficient at this. I am not doing myself justice at all. Ugh. Help me, Tom Cruise. You hear me? I should have hired John to do this. I got it. Here's my pipe, and I hit it. I nailed it right there. Didn't bust it, thank goodness, but came pretty close. That'll be fine though. We can cut it out right there. Oh yeah, I did bust it right there. Yep, sure enough did. All right. So I didn't bust it that way, but I did bust it here. Idiot. Well, at least we know it's not gonna blast water out at us. All right, here we are. So what I gotta do is put a T in right here. I'm gonna dig back just a little bit. Now that I know where my pipe is, I'll come back over here once I get a little more proficient. This is a learning curve. It's not the same as Caterpillar. It's just not the same as a Caterpillar excavator, and it's killing me. It's just killing me. Let's hammer down on this. Got to get this job done. Sun's setting low, and I got to get this trenched all the way to that fence by the end of the day. That's the goal. As you can see, this is not a light-hearted project. This is a pretty major project that I'm working on here. This trench is probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 yards long. I'm going to end up buying a 300-foot roll of 1-inch poly pipe to connect all this up. I probably didn't need to get 1 inch, but that's what I'm going to get anyway. So we're going from 1 inch to 1.25 inches. I know, you plumber guys are rolling your eyes right now, but that's just the way it is here. This well is serviced by a 1-inch pipe, and the well that services the farm is set up with 1.25 inches, so we could irrigate at some point if we wanted to. This is only for backup, okay? So it's not for full-on irrigation. It's for taking care of the cows, and I actually have the solar well dialed down to only 4 gallons per minute, so it will never, ever run too low. Now, down here at the house, we're gonna start digging next, and that's gonna be even more of a challenge. So I've got everything dug all the way back to the 1.25 inch poly for the solar well, and now we're right here where I need to be really precise, and I'm really starting to learn how to run this machine. About the time I get good at it, that's the time I'll be done with this project. Stick around, guys. There'll be a future video. We're gonna be putting a hydrant in beside the chicken coop and the garden. I've been needing to do that for quite some time, so we're gonna go ahead and get that done probably in the next couple of weeks. You can see as I'm digging right here by the cattle handling equipment that I am into some rock. There is a big rock buried in here and I can't seem to get it out. So I'm gonna have to just kind of circumvent my way around this rock. There are a lot of stones buried up here on the Stony Ridge farm, and right up here where the outdoor kitchen is located, that's the rockiest ridge on the entire farm. That is the Stony Ridge. It's been a job. I couldn't get lined up right here, so what I had to do was scoop out, scoop out, scoop out. I laid down a tarp and I laid some of my dirt here, some of my dirt here, and we're down in the hole. Right here, we need to get through that little passageway right there, and we got a couple more scoops to get out, but right there is our passageway, and we'll connect up. Now you see me digging right here. I just dug this trench out right up next to the outdoor kitchen. I'm gonna have to punch through with a shovel in between where the fence is right here. If I had to do this again, I probably would have gone on and taken care of this years ago when I first installed this well. This is a big hassle with this fence in the way. It's starting to get dark on us, guys, but we're gonna go ahead and start digging right here. Probably take me an hour or so to dig this trench, and I'm gonna dig really deep underneath the driveway so that I don't run a risk of soil compaction crushing my pipe. Before I backfill, I'm gonna turn all this on to make sure that that pipe is full of water and has some pressure on it before I start backfilling. I'm not too sure where I'm gonna put my valve just yet, but I think I'm gonna put my valve right on the edge of the grass right here. I don't wanna run over it with my lawnmower, but I also wanna make sure that I have good pressure on that pipe so that it doesn't collapse when I get ready to push water through it. You guys can tell it's starting to get dark here. It may already be too dark for you to see, but I'm dropping the blade on the Mini X and pushing all the rock up into a big pile right here in the driveway. That way, when I get done, I can push that rock back over my ditch and compact it down, start working that ditch back down into the ground. There's gonna be a little dip for probably a year or so, and I'll have to continue to straighten out the gravel for quite some time. This is a pretty big hole. Man, this is a project, guys. Day 3. Let me show you what we got going on. So I just went to PSI in Stokesdale, North Carolina to pick up my goodies for this job. I've got a 300-foot roll of 1-inch poly that's going to connect up top here. I've got a 150 or 200-foot roll. I think it's a 200-foot roll of 3/4 inch poly, which is going to be for down next to the house. And then I got various goodies right here, ball valves and stuff like that that I should have picked up the other day, and some clamps and some trash. Yeah, gotta have my clamps right here. Everything's ready to rock and roll, all my connection points. This is called a Woodford hydrant. Let me pull this out and show you. So this is a commercial grade hydrant. The reason I went commercial is because you need commercial. If you're gonna buy something, you might as well buy it once, and buy once, cry once, right? So Woodford is known for making super high quality, high-end hydrants like this. This is a frost-free hydrant, or a freeze-proof hydrant. The way this works is this sets down in the ground, your water flows up through here, and there is a weep hole in the back of this, and basically this will set down in the ground, and whenever you so you turn it on, that's water flow on. When you turn it off, all the water falls right back down through this tube, through this pipe, and goes out the weep hole in the bottom. We'll show you guys a unique little way that we're gonna set this up. I like to use a bucket of gravel. I like to just set a bucket of gravel down in and bloop, pop this guy right down in the ground. We had to get a little bit creative on my placement. Might as well just carry this over. I get a little creative on my placement of the hydrant and my digging here, and I've still got some hand digging to take care of. This is a mess. Check it out. Look at that. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. I'll tell you guys everything I did here in just a second. It is a mess. Why did you dig a hole 5 times bigger than it needed to be, Josh? Well, dummy. I was thinking as I started digging here, first of all, I didn't want to hit my pipe. My electric line and my pipe go through here, and that's what services my house. Secondly, I wanted a spot to put the hydrant that I didn't have to mow around. So I started digging right here, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna have to get the mower through here, and I don't want to mow around that hydrant for the rest of my life. So I want to put it up here next to the flower bed. That's my thought process there. Now I dug it out deep, and I don't have to be but 18 inches deep here below the frost line, but I dug it really deep over here. We're nearly 3 feet deep. Well, why did I do that? Mama didn't raise no dummy. Once again, I know I'm having trucks and tractor trailers and stuff like that coming through here all the time, and I don't want to smush my pipe. So my 3/4 inch poly pipe is going to go in that hole right there, and then we're going to catch up to our 1.25 inch, which is right here, which I hit with the Mini X. Again, I hit it up there and I hit it right here. So I dug this hole a little bit bigger because I'm going to have to cut out a piece of pipe and replace that. We're going to run the Mini X back over to my buddy John's house, which is half a mile away. We're going to grab his skid loader on the way back, or excuse me, on the way there. I'm going to set that rock over in my little rock pile. This is the Stony Ridge Farm, right? And I really got into some heavy rocks up at the top of the hill here, right by the cattle handling equipment in the tightest spot. What a disaster, what a mess. Now we're down to the down and dirty part. I've just got to throw my pipe in, get in with a shovel out this ditch. I'm going to do it down here first, and then I'm going to connect up there first. And then we're going to test everything, make sure we're good to go. Contact. That's annoying. Shut her down. Be afraid to shut her down. She's stuck in mud. I know. Don't make fun of me. I don't have a permanent setup on this truck just yet. Just hang on. It's a-coming. Other priorities. There we go. Fuel. John, I almost forgot to fill up your fuel tank, bud. It's not a very good neighbor, is it? Like a good neighbor, Stony Ridge is there. There's some fuel, buddy. Come on. It's the frothiest fuel I've ever put in a piece of equipment. Good gracious. Enough of the fuel froth. All right, John, I am going to do something for you here. This is enough dirt. You've got enough dirt in here, bud. We're gonna fix that. all I gotta do here is take my shovel and go all the way down through, make sure I've got a spot for my 3/4 inch line, and then we'll prep the site for the Woodford hydrant. Now, you guys will like what I gotta do here. I also have to dig out where my pipe is right here because I have not found it yet. So best get to digging. That's all I can do. So I'm having a little trouble finding my pipe and my electrical wire, which is running right here. I've got to figure that out. Every farm, every piece of large property needs a metal detector. This is a Garrett metal detector, AT Max. Super handy. I found all sorts of stuff all over the farm. Lose something, lose a screwdriver in the field, lose a nut, lose a washer, anything. And it also came with this little Garrett Pro all-terrain deal right here. So we hit the button like that, okay, and we'll step down in the hole here, and we should be able to find our electric. Well, we found the GoPro. Should be able to find our electrical wire, and my thought is it's right there. So we'll start where I think it is, and it's not where I think it is. So this probe right here finds things that are close by. In other words, you have to get really close to it. So I am not really close right here. So I can continually check that. I might have to go get some new batteries, and I'll get my metal detector and swipe over that real quick and see if we can figure out where the heck this wire goes. So we got this wire, direct bury wire, and this pipe going underground right to here somewhere. It must be up that way. Ugh, it's more digging, but is what it is. I don't know. Let me just double check. Well, there's the hydrant. Let me get some batteries and we'll swipe over this thing real quick and see if we can find it. It's right there. Whew, baby, here we are. Here we are. Yep, so we're right on top of it. Woo! God, what a pain. Come on, baby. Give it to me. Right there. I see you. Okay. I know that. Woo, man, I was close to that wire. I know my wire is here. And what on earth? Piece of scrap pipe there. Good gracious. You know, I'm gonna lay that right on top of what I'm digging. Oh, there it is. There's my. That was weird, wasn't it? Okay, this is where we got to do our splice. So I got to do a little digging right there. All I'm going to do is put a T in right here. I'm going to tee off. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to tee off to my hydrant. And I'm going to put my hydrant right about here. And then I'm going to run my line out to about here. I'm going to put my valve in place. I'm putting my valve in place after the hydrant. So the hydrant will be ran by the house well, okay? I don't want my hydrant to be ran by the solar well. I want that option, all right? Here we go. Turn this on. I've got this well off. Okay. That's good. 0 PSI. Of course, I don't guess it really matters there. Just turn that off. And turn this off. There we go. Now, clean my pipe a little bit. And I know for a fact what we're gonna have here in a second is a lot of water in this hole. So I dug the hole just a little deep because I know I'm gonna have water in it. And I gotta put a T right about there. Go ahead and take our pipe cutter here and just put it right smack in the middle. Should be no pressure, but there's gonna be water. There we go. smarter guy would have put a bucket down here, but I'm not that bright. We'll clean that pipe good. Well, in our hands. Yeah, not too much water. I dug it out deep enough right here so this didn't fill up and put mud into my faucets and stuff like that. That makes sense, doesn't it? Now we're gonna go ahead and get our tea and get her rocking. We'll see you guys once I get it all plumbed in. I'll show you. If you would have told me 3 hours ago I'd be racing daylight right now, I would have told you you were crazy. I cannot believe it's taken me this long to get this done. I still have to go up and do the other portion of this. There's only 2 tie-ins up there. Super simple, just push 2 pieces of pipe together. A little more complex down here. And what I have right here is a Milwaukee heat gun. And I'm heating up the pipe so it goes together a little bit easier and gets a better grip right here. So we're going right inside here and we're gonna push it together. If I can get the pipe right, there we go. I'm gonna push it right together. I'm gonna push it together now. I kinked it. Don't wanna kink it at all, ever. If I kink it, I cut it, especially if I'm that close to the end. This has been a chore, man. A real chore. You know I'm racing the weather. I've got rain coming in tomorrow and I gotta get these ditches filled back in. I may be out here doing this in the dark. Notice I put my hose clamps on. That's the nut there, and then that's the nut there. They're opposite of each other, and I will tighten them down opposite of each other, just like that. So they won't be right on top of each other, nut to nut. Cool? Let's try again. This pipe is cold and it doesn't want to bend. Go in through the hole in the bottom, catch my valve, and push it into place. There we go. Come on there, Bob. Come on now. There we go. Whew. Whew. Talking junk to it always helps. You notice something else. I put gravel in this hole. Let's define everything we've got going on here. The T off of the line right here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clamps up to this T, teed off to my Woodford hydrant. I have a bucket full of number 57 gravel. I just have a bucket of gravel right here. And this thing is sitting about that far off the bottom of that bucket. This, again, allows a leach field, and the bucket has a hole in it right there, and it has holes in the bottom of it. I think that that is the most simple way to install a hydrant. What do you guys think? It's well below the frost line here, and this is well below the frost line. Now I'm gonna come back in with gravel, and I'm gonna fill in all around this and all right here, and then we're gonna run our pipe all the way out to the other end right down there. But that's how it all works. So a T, the valve to shut it off to the other water system, and that was the whole goal of all this, to interconnect the water systems. And the afterthought was putting in that nice Woodford hydrant. Pretty happy with that. So I'm just gonna get busy here. I gotta get to work. I still have to get in the hole up there too. I'll show you guys what's up there. It is getting dark. I did not anticipate it getting dark on me like this, but it is what it is. Here's what I built. This is 1¼ inch to 3/4 inch, and we just got to get down in the hole with some hose clamps. My brain's fried too, and we got to get all this together. I gotta get this hole filled in by dark. It's supposed to rain. I just looked at the forecast by about 2 o'clock tomorrow, so I'm safe. I'm good to go on the big hole up the hill here, but I gotta get this done. This is a man on a mission. So let's jump in this hole and knock it out. Ran in the hole. I gotta get it done because I won't have any water tonight if I don't also. And that's important to me. We might get some water in this hole too. Come on, cut it, man. Good gracious. So this is a damaged portion I needed to remove. I bumped it with the loader, and looks like my hole's gonna fill up with water. I don't think there's enough to get a bite here. Well, maybe. Let me heat that up, see if I can reshape it and go from there. It said this hose clamp's big enough for 1.25 inches, but I don't think so. 1.5 inches? No way. Get water right there. This is dumb and it ain't gonna work. I know it's not gonna work. I'm just gonna have to add a piece in, and I'm gonna have to do that tomorrow. There's no way. It's just too darn dark. I can bury most of this pipe, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna cut this puppy right back here where it's not misshapen. I could spend an hour in this hole trying to mess with that. Now, my hose clamp said that they would fit up to 1.5 inches here. Bull crap. No way. No way. No way. You need a bigger hose clamp. Day 4, man. Day 4. So what I did last night as I started working under the lights is I went ahead and buried up everything that I could bury here. And the reason I did this is because if I have a fire in my shop building, the fire department's gonna have to get through here, and I did not want to leave it exposed for one more night. So that's one night it was exposed to a potential fire, and I just want my fire department to have access. So this is the dirt that came out of this hole, and I got a little bit of work to do over here as well. So you guys can see the actual height of this, and let me just get in the hole here with you and show you. The height of this box is not up to grade right here, so I had to make another run to the plumbing store, and that's what it looks like down inside. Super cool. I've got to get in here, clean out just a little bit like so, and I went on and got a couple more boxes right here. When you install one of these boxes like this, and this is basically an irrigation junction box, you don't want it to be below grade. You want it to be about 1 inch above grade. And the reason for that is you'll lose it, you'll run over it, it's going to settle, and you're just gonna have to use a little common sense. I started backfilling this and realized that it wasn't gonna be at the proper height, so that's why you see all this dirt that I'm having to get out by hand right quick. Super simple. I'll show you how this works. We're gonna add one more box. That's pretty close. Another box. That's pretty much right on the money. That's grade right there, so that's where we want to be. And I got an extra box right here. So we'll go ahead and pop the lid onto that. And now we're totally ready to backfill right in here. I just wanted to make sure You see my grade is here. I'm probably an inch above grade. I can backfill around this, put a little mulch around it. It'll be right level with the ground, and we want it to be sturdy, and it's pretty sturdy. So I'll do a little shovel work right in here, backfill it in with the shovel, then come back in here and run over it with the skid loader. Whew. I still haven't got up in the hole up here. It sprinkled a little bit of rain last night, and I hit the pipe up there, and I got some water in the hole. We got to get in this hole and tie all this together, and we're done with this section right here, and we'll head on up the hill. I did have to plug the pipe late last night, and I'm a little curious as to what I'm going to get when I unplug the pipe this morning. I have some extra pieces right here that I'll have to splice in, and you don't want to do this. This is not ideal. I did not want to have to splice this again, but it just is what it is at this point. So let me jump over in the hole, and we're going to cut this pipe, and we're probably going to see some water come out of here. Hopefully not a lot, but we will see some water come out of here. Yep. Woo! Oh. Not ideal. No more. No more water, please. No more water. I don't know why it's doing this, to be honest with you. Oh, this pipe should totally be drained. Sounds like it's about to finish glugging. Oh. All right, while that's draining, I'm gonna get all this splice put together. Here's what we got. That's your 3/4 that goes back to the house well. This is our continuation of our pipe that goes to the farm well, and this is my splice setup right here. Notice I doubled up again, and the weak point right here is this. Any splice you put in any pipe is a weak point. So I just have to make a mental note of this. Hopefully when I'm 70, I'm not down here fixing this. I will pressure test this prior to burying it, but I want to put some dirt up underneath so I don't accidentally break that PVC fitting. We just got done smoothing that out. Now to the big hole. I gotta splice this. We got a little water in the hole here. That's okay. We're gonna cut, splice, tee, and run it that way. But the first thing I gotta do is roll out all this pipe right here so it'll drop over in the ditch really easy. Then all we gotta do is connect up there and bury this puppy. This is gonna be super easy right here. I don't have enough pipe. I got a 300-foot length of pipe. The building is 112 feet long. I just knew 300 feet would be enough. I'm about 150 feet short, I think. Gonna have to go measure that and run back to the store. Should have got all this laid out, I guess, before I went to the store. But we're gonna go ahead and tie in right here, and we're gonna tie in over there. And I'm gonna bury most of this up. That way I only gotta get in the hole to splice together. Well, if I do that, I got to do 2 splices. So I got to run to the store. I'm going to go ahead and get this squared away real quick. Very, very simple. Cut, splice, go. Oh, yeah. Calm before the storm. I'm about to wrap it up here. I am going to get in this ditch right here. And let's show you what we got. So we're down here, down in the hole, and we've got to connect up to this 1-inch pipe right here. Pretty simple. I need to kind of loosen that and rotate this. Wouldn't hurt, but we'll be okay. Get this dirt clod out of there. So I've got to be able to access that hole right there, which means I got to do a little digging and pounding right here. So let's go ahead and see if we can access that entry hole. Should be simple. Right there. Okay. Let me see here. Our 1-inch pipe needs to come through that little weensy hole right there. I think we can do it. All we gotta do is hook up to that guy right there. Hopefully we'll be in good shape. Tight quarters down in there. This ditch was a pain in the butt to dig out. I need to go in and kind of get it squared away so I can come right out of there and right into here. Second problem I got, I had to dig under the fence right here, so I got to punch a hole right through here in order to bring my pipe down. So I'm going to try and get it right on that edge, right about there, punch it through, pull my pipe through, pull it all the way in and up into that valve box. No, here we go. Down in a hole. Good gracious. That's the hardest dirt in the dang farm. I ain't never in my life. That ain't dirt, that's just rock. What on earth is wrong with this dirt? Oh. Come on, baby. Hey, baby. Give me that. Give me that. There we go. Now we're cooking. That's some hard dirt right there, buddy. Here we go. Pipe in the hole. Pipe in the ditch, baby. We gotta cut the here pipe, the end piece off right here. There we go. Then we got a couple clamps. We're gonna heat this puppy up before we run it through into the hole, which is right here beside me. That way it goes together smooth, without incident or issue. And I don't want to heat this so hot that it burns my fingers, but I just want to make it more pliable. And it is a bear to wrestle right now. This is a Milwaukee heat gun. If you have not seen one of these, it's super handy. If you got stickers and stuff need to come off, window tint, shrink wrap on wires, putting pipe together like this. I'll post a link right down there so you guys can pick one up if you want one. I'm a huge fan of Milwaukee tool, and you can tell I throw it. I wouldn't say I abuse it, but I give it what it needs. Hose clamp. Hose clamp. Come on, buddy. It's your time to shine. I don't need a grasshopper in here. It's a little harder than I thought it was gonna be. Whew. Earning my keep. There we go. Now we're going. Come on in there, bud. Ooh. Come on there, boy. Take it. You gotta shake it out. I'm gonna shake it in here. Woo. Heat it up. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, got it. Lord, help me. Help me, Jesus. What a pain in the butt. Did you bring all your tools down here, buddy? Seem to be missing an important tool. Go. Harmony. There we go, buddy. You got it. You're a good boy. Let's bury this thing. Let me tell you a little something about burying it. There's so many rocks right in here that I'm gonna have to get scoops of dirt. There's actually not a lot of rocks in that. I'm gonna have to be careful not to damage my pipe by pushing big rocks on top of it. We did get the 160 PSI heavy gauge pipe, so that'll really help. But yeah, there are a lot of rocks right here. This is the hardest dirt on the farm that I've ever dug in. Super hard. We're good to go. Well, that about does her. I got them all hooked up. Everything's good to go. Tied in, smoothed out as best as I could. I don't know, I think I did pretty good with a little skid loader. Everything's smoothed out. I know this is gonna settle and there'll be a little dip right here. I've got some fill dirt on the other side of the farm. We'll come back in a year or so, drop a little dirt in this, smooth it back over. What a project, a monumental project, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. I know this is a long video. This is a lot of work to get done. Super happy. I am connected up now. So in other words, my livestock will never ever have to worry about running out of water, nor will the shop, nor will the house. Everything is interconnected. 3 wells interconnected. There is a check valve on each one of the well pumps here and a check valve over here so that they won't backfeed onto one another. And now we should be good to go. So if a well pump goes out on the farm anywhere, especially for the livestock, I won't have to worry about them running out of water. That is super cool. What a load off of my chest. If I go on a vacation and I'm worried that we're gonna have snow or something like that, I can just shut off the solar well and turn on the other agricultural well over here and I will be served. Super cool. That's what this was all about. 4 days of work to take away the worry. Thank you guys so much. Hit that like button. This is the kind of video I love to do. I know it was a long one. Man, thank y'all. I really appreciate you being here with me. We'll see you next time. I'm gonna go cozy up by the fire. Take care. Have a great day. Woo! Come on down to the Stony Ridge. Bring your wife, bring your kids, living life here in Sweden. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stony Ridge. And she's back, which I hit with the Mini X again. Like a good neighbor, Stony Ridge is there. It's the frothiest fuel I've ever put in a piece of equipment. Good gracious. Enough of the fuel froth. Frafferfrill. Hello?
Hi, I'm speaking to Joshua.
Who are you?
I was just wondering if you'd consider selling the property you own on Stone Mountain.
I was wondering if you could shove it up your ass.
Did you try that?
You could try it. It'd be really neat. Yeah,
I see
just
that
do
you're an
that.
expert.
Just
Have a
do
great-
that and see how much it wiggles. You guys get those calls? It's so annoying. Leave me alone. I don't even have property on Stone Mountain Road. What you talking about, brah? There we go. Whew. Phew. Talking junk to it always helps. My phone. What time's the rain coming tomorrow? Oh. Give me some more mud in this hole, buddy. Give me a little more mud in that hole. Squished it. I squished it. How you doing there, buddy? Down in a hole. Good gracious. That's the hardest dirt in the dang farm. Dirt, that's just rock. What's wrong with this dirt? Hey, baby. Give me that. Give me that. There we go. Yeah, it's your time to shine. Did you bring all your tools down here, buddy? Seem to be missing an important tool. I'm out of shape. Off, bro. We don't need prints while we're driving. We don't need it right now. We just don't need it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm in this little bitty thing right here. Ain't got no spot for the cell phone. You need a spot for your cell phone right here. There's no place in a modern piece of equipment, there's no place to put your phone. Kubota, they don't have phones in Japan. Don't make no sense, Billy. That don't make no sense on no daggone. Got the fire rolling. Nice. Trying to break in this pipe. I can smell burning paint off that pipe. Got it broke in. Got some doors open. Got that fire cooking. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Woo! Y'all come back now. You hear?